Frenchie and I are swapping spots this week. Frenchie's piloting their own Rakdos Demons list versus Brandon Chen bringing us green-white angels.
Yes, this is a different spin on the Selesnya Coco deck. This is kind of more like the classic Pioneer version, where you're going to wind up gaining a ton of life and then just making very large flyers, starting all the way down from the curve of Llanowar Elf, and then going up to Giada, and then going all the way up to your Righteous Valkyries and your Resplendent Archangels and everything.
Turn one Thoughtseize. Let's see what we got in hand. Valkyrie. There's the one that
Coco, too.
draws cards, I think.
Yep.
There's another one.
Was it Inspiring?
Overseer?
Yeah. See what we got there. That's why we have two people in the booth instead of just one.
Okay, there we go. I was like, speaking a little.
Overseer. Just Scryfall was taking a second to pull that one up. But Frenchie actually going after the Righteous Valkyrie here. So realizing that, okay, yeah, you do have the mana available for your collected company, but that won't be coming down next turn.
Yeah, so there's a chance Frenchie might just have another Thoughtseize in hand as well.
Well, if they don't, that's going to be very painful, because one of the things that these black mid-range decks don't do very well is recover from the top of your opponent's library.
Yeah, unfortunately. You can strip out your opponent's hand all you want, but real-life Thoughtseize bug, they'll just draw another one.
Yeah, now you kind of have to think about it here. Sheoldred's Edict, so sacrifice a non-token creature. Okay, so that's what Frenchie has to delay this collected company from coming down.
Okay.
So
Brandon ditching the Bishop of Wings. That's an interesting.
A second collected company off the top as well. Brandon says, "Go ahead. What do you think I got?"
I'm actually really interested. Brandon didn't just jam the Overseer there. Would have gotten the value, and then you would have been able to sack it immediately.
Nah, I mean, I guess when you have the redundant copy of collected company, we've already kind of committed to getting rid of this Bishop. However, so there we go. Just gonna rip that collected company like a Beyblade, and what are we gonna get? We got a Giada and a Llanowar Elf, so we have pretty much all the mana in the world that we could have for Angels.
Oh no, Frenchie missed their third land drop.
Yeah, not having the third land is something you're a little familiar with this deck, unfortunately.
Hitting a little too close to home there.
Frenchie's got red mana at least, so.
Yeah.
All right, so we did wind up having the Giada. We wind up having these two Llanowar Elves off to the side, so I guess they're just kind of being used as mono rocks here. And the second Thoughtseize is going to see more Cocos.
Second and third Coco. Thoughtseize bug in real life, for real.
Oh, man, this is exactly where that Angels deck wants to be, though. You turn Coco into Coco, you start generating all these Angel value, and this Giada is going to start putting +1/+1 counters on all these Angels.
I think I see another Giada. I can't tell what the rest of it is.
Show you.
Oh, Bishop of Wings.
Is that Resplendent Angel and Bishop of Wings?
In the top 6 as well was 2 more Giadas Brandon left. Yeah, Bishop of Wings. Is there Resplendent Angel?
I mean, I'm trying to check because that's the newer art for Resplendent Angel. So, boom, that's going to wind up gaining Brandon 4 life. I'm gonna get an index finger work at hitting this life button from this deck here, because the Angels deck, every single Angel that it makes, the Bishop of Wings will gain 4. The Resplendent Angel will put another Angel into play if you gained at least 5, and then that will trigger Bishop of Wings, and it's really difficult unless you have like a Screaming Nemesis from Frenchie's side, as they just take a very powerful swing here from these Angels as well, going down to 5.
Yeah, Frenchie kind of having a rough start here. Yep, scooping it up. Brandon just kind of hitting the enough mana to be able to consistently Coco, and also getting good hits off of the Coco. Was just a little bit too much for Frenchie being down 2 land drops, I think.
Yeah, missing a land drop and then having the Thoughtseize bug of Coco into Coco on Brandon's side. Like we said, that is like the dream scenario for the Selesnya Angels deck. And then Frenchie not being able to stop Brandon from hitting that first Coco. Getting rid of the Righteous Valkyrie is one thing, because there's not a lot of removal spells that you can wind up having that are super impactful against those cards, especially like with Fatal Push. You need to be able to trigger Revolt somehow first.
Yes.
But that Coco, not taking the Coco.
Yeah, that was an interesting line, I think. I feel like no matter what, you take Coco and you just have removal for everything else.
I mean, hindsight being like 2020 in this circumstance, there was another Coco.
Yeah, but normally you wouldn't expect it. And like even then, because Frenchie did end up double Thoughtseize, so if they had taken the Coco there, then that forced Brandon to only have 1 Coco instead of 2 resolved Cocos.
Yeah, even being stuck on 2 mana there, you wind up hitting The Angel comes down, then you wind up Shieldred Edicting, you get rid of the Llanowar Elf, they keep the Angel, and then they're on 3 lands, and you're hoping that they don't top deck. Yeah, in that case, you couldn't even actually play the second Coco.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
maybe hindsight coming in here from the caster booth, we have the omnipotent view of everything. But in general, from playing so many black mid-range decks or black control style decks, if my opponent has something that lets them play off the top of their library, I gotta get rid of it.
Yeah, because the thing is also, I think the consideration in this matchup is that Selesnya Angels, unlike the Hate Bears deck, actually gets more value out of Coco than Hate Bears would, just because of the slightly higher mana curve of the deck. A lot of the good Angels are on 3, which is the upper limit of Coco, instead of being on 2. So instead of being, basically on rate, you might actually be over rate. You're paying 4 mana for, 3 mana creatures, or a 2 mana and a 3 mana. And it's also on instant speed, so it's already above rate.
Yeah, and so, all right, so you've played Frenchie's list.
Mm-hmm.
Does Frenchie have anything in their deck that is going to wind up being good at stopping life gain?
Oh, God. I can pull up the list right now, but off the top of my head, I don't think so.
It's like the cards in Pioneer that can do that are Rampaging Ferocidon, Screaming Nemesis, and Knight of the Dusk Legion, the old anti-Amalia card, right? But not having any of those cards from Frenchie's sideboard means that they are basically going to be on the Thoughtseize removal plan.
Yeah, which is definitely a little bit rough here. Come on, flex slot, load. There we go.
All right, well, Brandon's off to the races with a turn 1 Llanowar Elf after Frenchie plays land go. Looks like this might just be it's going to be a Heartless Act coming down. Okay, so Frenchie is on the removal go style of the deck, which might be enough to get there if you run Brandon out of cards by not having a Coco on the top of their library.
Yeah, I think for Frenchie, there really isn't a ton of, like you said, life gain prevention things, but Extinction Event might be interesting here. Next list. Actually, I think he has an Angel sideboard. He does. Or they do. Sorry. Yeah, Extinction Event, Abrade, Torso Tower, just bringing in more
removal.
Going on Duresses, because Duresses will pretty much only hit Coco, and then going down the Shieldred's Edict, because you can just sack Elves instead of, the stuff you actually want to hit.
All right, meanwhile, though, Brandon just on turn 2 plays Bishop of Wings. On turn 3 plays Righteous Valkyrie. So threatening to get that Anthem effect here by going up to 24. But you're going to have a Thoughtseize here from Frenchie's side. Sees a Resplendent Angel, which is going to be the target here. And then the Redain in order to kind of potentially tack some of these larger spells from Frenchie's side.
Ooh. Brandon starting off with a very pressing information here. Frenchie is able to hit all their land drops this time, though. Slasher coming in.
Ooh, Unstoppable Slasher actually might be a pretty solid card against Angels, because a 2/3 Death Touch that keeps on slinging in here might be something that you have to chump block with. And with the Angels deck, you gotta be careful what cards you're chump blocking with.
Yeah, Slasher is actually insane, because basically you're telling your opponent, gain as much life as you want, I'll cut it in half anyways.
Yeah, that's actually the best anti-life gain card that Frenchie has, is the fact that you could just half a life total. So see the Righteous Valkyrie getting in for just 2 damage here. And as long as Frenchie's able to keep Brandon's life total in check with that Unstoppable Slasher, there's going to be no Anthem effects, and there's going to be a bunch of 2 and 3 power flyers, which, if you're playing Removal Go, is pretty good. And here we go, attacking him with the Unstoppable Slasher. What do you want to lose?
Oh, Redain. I'd also like to bring up the fact that Slasher, when it dies, it does come back, right? It gets 2 stun counters on it, and it remains tapped for 2 turns. The thing is, it's still on the field, so you can copy it with Reflection of Kiki Jiki.
Oh, yeah, which is right there. And actually, this Redain just chump blocks, too. Redain's a 2/3, not a 3/2, so that Unstoppable Slasher doesn't even die. Just Brandon protecting life total here, as Frenchie's going to slam down the Unholy Annex, which is very, very powerful part of this Demon's deck.
Yeah. Unholy Annex, one of the reasons to be in Demons right now.
All right, well, we wind up having the problem that almost everybody seems to have with the life pad, which is I hit the wrong button, and now all of a sudden it's Commander. You just wind up, just pick your 2-person thing. We're at 24 to 16. Remember your life totals, everybody.
Oh, hopefully I remember. 22. Oh, yeah, 22. No, there's no...
It's because we're going into...
Mutable.
Yeah. We're going into end step here. So this Unholy Annex Ritual Chamber has been activated. So it's just a draining and a drawing here from Frenchie's side. And Brandon's going to scoop it up after that?
I think Brandon was mostly empty-handed there. Without Redainer, without the rest of his stuff to try and get through. I don't think he was winning that one, unfortunately.
All right. Well, Frenchie's going to steal a game out there. And I guess the game plan now from the Demons deck is draw Unstoppable Slasher.
Yeah, I mean, we both definitely forgot about that card. It is very oppressive in this matchup. Death Touch kills anything. Oh, it doesn't matter if you have an Anthem. Die.
I'm assuming what Brandon is doing right now is quickly going through his deck and seeing how many cards can I cut for Skyclave Apparition.
Yeah, Apparition would be pretty good. It is not an angel, but it does cleanly answer a lot of the problems that Frenchie's deck is able to put out.
Now, and we can Coco into it.
And we can cook into it.
All right, so Brandon now going to be on the play, probably looking for a hand that is going to be curving Llanowar Elf into some sort of angel into Collected Company, whereas Frenchie being on the draw, probably looking for like Fatal Push on one to stop the elf, then either like a FOMO or a removal spell on turn 2/3, and then playing the Slasher or a Fable in that order.
Yeah, Frenchie, I mean, as we saw in game one, Frenchie did miss their third and fourth land drops there. Being off mana a little bit, so we weren't really able to see whether or not the Demons deck is able to get there just playing a normal game plan on the play. Because I do like to think that this is a little bit play draw dependent. Whoever gets to basically their turn 3 first will kind of start to eke out more of an advantage, and it's just a matter of can your opponent respond to it.
It's also very difficult for it to not be a play draw dependent kind of game when your opponent is playing Llanowar Elf. If I go first and play Llanowar Elf and it survives, I'm in good shape. If I play Llanowar Elf and go first and it dies, I'm in not as good shape. And if I'm on the draw and I play Llanowar Elf and it dies, I'm in a lot of trouble.
Speaking of Llanowar Elves, I see 2 in that hand.
It's like Brandon has decided to keep, and now Frenchie really in the tank on this one. They're considering what they want to do with their hand. I mean, at this point, if you're Frenchie and you're really thinking about this, they do decide to keep, though, so maybe just not having a hand removal? Oh, the Thought Seize over the Fatal Push instead. So Frenchie going to go down to 18, sees the hand of Giada, Llanowar Elf, double land, and Young Valkyrie. Okay, so not a ton of action coming out from Brandon's hand.
Yeah, I think Brandon's hoping to just top deck it off the top.
I mean, if you wind up having Giada into Young Valkyrie, that is a very powerful combination because that Young Valkyrie grows for every single angel that is going to be coming down. And Giada is going to be adding counters onto all of those angels that come down in addition to that. So your board gets wide very fast.
Let's see. Another land in hand. What are the 2 cards in Brandon's hand? Oh, not playing anything. Going in for the attack. Fatal pushing the Young Valkyrie.
All right. I was like, Youthful Valkyrie. I was like, why is this card not coming up? I know it was in those special packs, but still. Youthful Valkyrie, not Young Valkyrie. Y-U-N-G, Young Valkyrie.
Slasher coming down, the big old boogeyman from the Rakdos deck.
All right, now this is the awkward part about the Angels deck, right? This is where you are a Llanowar Elf Go deck, and you don't necessarily have the best top deck potential because all of your card advantages wrapped up in Kayla's Reclamation and Coco. If you don't have those, you're just draw go creature.
Yeah, Resplendent Angel coming down though. Let's see what Brandon wants to do here. He can chump with an elf, or he can try and kill it with the angel.
So Brandon looks like he's just gonna take the 2 damage, go down to 18, and then Slasher's going to half that down to 9. So he wants to keep those Llanowar Elves around. Now, we do end up having the Resplendent Angel activated ability, which is online with next turn swing.
Oh.
So being able to potentially gain some life.
Unholy Annex is here. Oh, Frenchie's new room unlock token looks really sick, actually.
That is pretty cool.
Now I need to ask them where they got that.
It looks like a game board piece. Like, it looks like it's from some sort of like board game.
I know, right? But Unholy Annex, one of the best cards to come out of Dustmourne. If you haven't picked those up yet, they have gotten a lot more expensive.
They definitely have.
But yeah, now Frenchie has their card draw engine online. And as long as any sort of demon comes out, all of a sudden you're draining your opponent.
All right, so we have 6 damage in the air, or 5 damage in the air, and 5 life gain here for Brandon.
Yeah,
with these Resplendent Angels. Most importantly, that is going to trigger the token clause here because that is 6 damage that is coming in. So the Fatal Push will wind up getting rid of that 4/4. So now Brandon may have to chump block with an Elf, but second Resplendent Angel in hand.
Ooh.
This is difficult now because Brandon can potentially just raise Frenchie. Frenchie could... Oh, never mind.
Oh, nope. This is bad. This is real bad for Brandon. Definitely has to chump block here. Otherwise, Slasher is just lethal. But also, Bloodletter does make it so that Unholy Annex will now drain Brandon for 4 instead of deal 2 to Frenchie. So there is a passive clock on the board now.
So this Blodletter of Aclazotz, like you said, passive board. Frenchie doesn't even really have to swing, but at this point, I mean, you wind up swinging with the Unstoppable Slasher. Brandon's going to trade the Llanowar Elf for that. Doesn't want to die. The Slasher and Blodletter of Aclazotz combination fully online here for Frenchie. And I mean, if you're thinking right now, you're thinking, okay, how do I die? At this point, it's Skyclave Apparition on my Blodletter of Aclazotz. Start swinging in with the Angel, but then you can't activate the Angel to gain life.
Yeah, this is definitely a little bit rough. Frenchie probably wants to attack in still, chumping with the Llanowar Elf. Frenchie going up to 11. Brandon going down to 10. That was a land, I think? Ooh.
Activate, swing. Frenchie's going to take 6, down to 5.
Taking 5, because last turn was 6 only because of the Elves.
Oh, and we get the Angel. All right. So, I mean, at this point now, Frenchie is, without a block, dead on board. But this Bloodletter does fly. And
oh, a Braid.
A Braid for 3 damage. That's going to take care of the Resplendent Angel. So that is offline. We know there's one more in Brandon's hand, but he's not going to be able to play that and activate.
Oh.
Second room. Oh.
Unholy Annex 2. So now Brandon's going to take 8.
Yeah, and you have to chump block here.
Oh, no. Frenchie goes up to 10 again. Brandon goes to 7.
I was worried that the Angels deck was going to be the one giving me an index finger workout on this button here, but it looks like Frenchie's the one that's giving us
right?
a life total workout.
Frenchie is very stable now, unfortunately for Brandon.
Oh, okay, so we have...
Is that Giada?
No, it's we have a Righteous Valkyrie and the Resplendent Angel, it looks like. So let's see here. If we do Righteous Valkyrie, Resplendent Angel enters, gains us 3 life. That won't trigger the Resplendent Angel, but we still have 3 creatures altogether. We're not dead.
Just life gain. Not immediately dead, but also not in a great spot.
All right, so we're still basically in chump block. Oh, right, this Angel has Vigilance. All right.
And obviously, Bloodletter doesn't want to block.
But Brandon is still facing down 2 very important things. One is 8 damage from the Unholy Annexes, so another one is lethal. And ooh,
Archfiend
that's dead. You lose 4 and 7. You got a chump block, right? And then you're taking 8.
Oh, jeez.
That is a heck of a top deck here from Frenchie. That's going to be the additional 2 damage that is needed. And in a game where the life totals were swinging all over the place like it was a playground, it's Frenchie and the Rakdos Demons deck taking it down 2 games to 1.